What's going on, Gromies? It's been a minute, but welcome back. I got a little busy, but I couldn't leave you hanging. We're back with 8 beginner tips for your garden in under 8 minutes. Sit back, relax. You on Zoe TV 420. Let's go. All right, Gromies. Tip number one. You're going to want to spend the most money on your lights and your beams. Now, you don't have to go crazy on your first grow. It's okay to piece your grow together, but the lights are the main focus, and good genetics. Just make sure the light source that you pick is up to par. Growers pun intended. Just do yourself a favor. Do a little research on the light that you pick and make sure it's strong enough to help your plant get to its fullest potential. You can also download the Photon app from the Google Play Store. Photosynthetic, photon, flux, density. Say that 3 times fast. Now, 200 through 400 ppfds is good for clones and mother plants and seedlings. 400 through 600 ppfds is good for veg. And in flowers, 600 to 900 ppfds. Now, tip number 2. Choosing your beans. Don't skimp, but don't be cheap. They can go from $5 a bean all the way to $20 a bean. And when I say don't be cheap, I'm not saying the $5 beans don't try it. What I'm saying is make sure that the beans that you get are from a reputable company. Somebody coming up to you saying I got 20 beans for $20. Do some research and get you some beans from a reputable company. Your first grow, no need to go compound genetics and spend $100 on 5 seeds. And it's your first grow, and if it doesn't work out, you're gonna feel like you spent all that time and effort for nothing. Especially if it's your first grow and you really don't know what you're doing, you can run into some problems. Just do you some research. There's hundreds of seed banks out there. Now, tip number 3 also has to do with lights. Space. Make sure the light source that you pick can cover the space that you're growing in. For example, 32 watts per square foot. So you got a 4x4 tent, 400 to 500 watts per space. Tip number 4, pot size. What size pot do you actually need? Just make sure you know how big your plant can potentially get. Just choose the ones that's going to fit your space and your growing style. For autoflowers, you should sow your seed into its final pot due to its unpredictable flowering time. But photoperids are different. You can transplant them from pot to pot until you get the ideal size or shape of the plant that you desire. And tip number 5, watering your plants and pHing them properly. This is where most of the problems for growers occur. First off, it's better to underwater than overwater. I know we get excited and we see our little planting. We just want to go in there and give them some love and give them some water, but stop. Just give enough pH from a 5.5 to a 6.0 for a non-soil medium, like coco coir and deep water culture. Now you want a 6.0 to a 6.5 range for soil, just to cover and moisten the medium. The plant will let you know when it's hungry again. You're going to get droopy leaves and things like that. Then after that, you can learn the plant's watering cycle. Simple. Tip number 6, defoliating and pruning your plants for the best yield. Even if you don't train them, make sure you get rid of any overburdened leaves or branches for maximum airflow and light penetration. Also removing a third of the bottom of the plant to make sure the energy rises to the top bud size for bigger and denser buds. Now, we all want that, right? Tip number 7, get you a jeweler's loupe. They're pretty cheap and you can get them from Amazon. They come in different varieties. They come in the regular OG, and they also come in the camera type, where you can get in there real close and get you some pictures like this. And check the trichome production. That's when you're gonna know when the plant is actually ready. There was a time in the old days before they used jeweler's loupe that they went by the pistil hairs on the plant. Not anymore. This is how we're gonna craft our weed. Get you a jeweler's loupe. The trichomes are the true way you're gonna know if your plant is really done. Now the trichomes are gonna turn colors from clear, cloudy to an amber color. Now the clear trichomes, just a little too early. That gives you the jittery, paranoid feeling. I don't think you want that. Now the cloudy trichomes release energetic and happy medicine. Now the amber trichomes are more of a couch lock body high. Now if you want to balance out your plant, you're going to want to do a 70-20-10 split. You're going to want 70% cloudy. You're going to want 20% amber and only 10% clear. If you want more of the body couch lock high, you would let more amber trichomes develop. But don't let it go too far. It'll be overripe fast. All CBN, CBD, no more THC. Done. But you also don't want to chop your plants down too early. Not letting them ripe up to their potential is a cardinal 420 sin. Now, if you want to guarantee that you don't get mids, get you a jeweler's loupe. And the final tip of the day, tip number 8, be patient. Don't chop it down too early and craft your weed to fit your needs. All right, let's run through the tips real fast, all right? Tip number 1, spending the most of your money on your lights and your beams. Tip number 2, choosing the right genetics. Tip number 3, make sure you're growing in the right space. Tip number 4, pot size. Make sure you have the right pot size for the cultivar that you're about to grow and for your space. Tip number 5, watering your plant and making sure you have the perfect pH balance. Tip number 6, defoliating and pruning your plants. Tip number 7, get you a jeweler's loupe. And tip number 8, just wait. Be patient. You got this. Until next time, everybody, stay safe out there. Let's stay rooting for each other. And let's all keep moving.